So by the end of today, you'll know exactly what you need to do to join Meta Ads with Google Tag Manager so you can set up a pixel there and you can set up a conversion to run with your campaigns, okay? What's going on, dang? It's your boy Jerry the Ad Wizard coming back at you with a brand new video. And today we're going to be looking at something quintessential to Meta Ads if you are wanting a tracking solution and are wanting to use Google Tag Manager with Facebook/Meta Ads. And this is a really simple solution that will enable you to set up a Meta Pixel using Google Tag Manager and to set up a conversion using Google Tag Manager so that you can create a Facebook ad campaign with that conversion in mind to optimize around that particular conversion, which is important to your business. So guys, grab your coffees and grab your hats. It's time to spin up some ad magic. Okay guys, so I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do and where you need to go on Google Tag Manager to set up your pixel and to set up a conversion event that then you can link to your Meta campaign to optimize around. So guys, first step to this is we're going to go to Google Tag Manager. If you haven't created a Google Tag Manager account, go create a Google Tag Manager account. The other thing that we'll also need is a Meta Ad Manager account. Okay, so the first step is actually we're going to open up our Google Tag Manager. We're going to open up our Meta Ad Manager account. And this is where we're going to start implementing some things, right? So first thing we need to do is get some code. We need to get the pixel code from your Meta Ad Manager. Where do we go to do that? Well, first of all, you need to go over to the Events Manager. This is now called Datasets section as well, sometimes. Depending on what version of Ad Manager you currently have on your account, they often roll out updates, and Data Sources is the new name for the Events Manager, really. So here we can see the main overview, okay? And then we're going to click on the pixel itself, the pixel that we want to implement. You will either need to create a pixel, which I'll show you how to do now, or if you already have a pixel that you want to link into Google Tag Manager, we can do that, okay? We can do that really easily, guys. We have our pixel here. This is the pixel view. And here under Manage Integrations, you're going to click on Manage Integrations. You're going to click on here where it says Meta Pixel, you're going to click Manage, and then you're going to press Install Pixel on a new website. This button here, and you're going to press that. And then you're going to see these two options, right? Install code manually or check for a partner. Right, we're going to install code manually. This brings up the code section of the Meta Pixel. And this is what we're going to copy because we're going to copy it into Google Tag Manager. Right, so here where it says copy code, we're going to press copy code. Then you're going to go back to Google Tag Manager. Okay, and on the left-hand side here, there are a number of different options. If you're familiar with Google Tag Manager, you know what these are. If you're not, first thing is we're going to do is going to get create a tag. The tag is the specific action. Okay, and then the trigger is when that action is fired. Okay, so we've got two different types of settings that we're going to activate: tags and triggers. But first of all, we're going to go to tags. We can actually add triggers into the tag section just to be really confusing. But I'm going to go through step by step, guys. There's going to be no confusion for you. By the end of this, you're going to know exactly what to do, where you need to go, and what you need to say. Okay, so we've opened up tag section on Google Tag Manager. Here in the very top, we're going to press new. Okay, and this opens up a tag configuration section and the triggering section. Before, when I said you can create a trigger within a tag, this is exactly what I mean. You create your tag here, and then you create your trigger here. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to name our tag, and it's going to be Meta Code, right? Or whatever you want to call it. It could be Meta Pixel, it could be Pixel, whatever you want to. Just make sure that you're really organized with your namings, because we want to be able to recognize and understand exactly what's going on and where. So if you make it really simple and really clear what tags are what, then it's all about the organization. So I'm going to call it a Meta Pixel. Guess I'll tell you Meta Pixel, that's the name of it. Now, the tag itself, we're going to click on this rectangle, basically, and this is going to open up that section, right? And here, we're going to say, okay, these are all the different options of things. What we're going to do is press Custom HTML. This will allow us to put in HTML code. And the pixel code that we've just copied from the Meta Ad Manager is HTML. So that works out really nicely, doesn't it? We're going to press up here, we're going to press Custom HTML. And in this section here, we can paste our code. And that's exactly what we're going to do, guys. This is why I love this particular method, because it is code-based. Without your developer, we can set things up without needing to disturb or bother your amazing developer friends to go and implement or set up a new pixel, set up any conversion events. We can do this all through Google Tag Manager, and that's why Google Tag Manager is awesome. Okay, so we're going to paste this in here, and this is our base pixel code, right? You can see here, base pixel code, all this pixel code here, okay? And that's basically it. We're going to copy that in there, and then the trigger, okay? So when does the pixel code fire? Well, technically on any single page, right? So how do we implement that? I'm going to show you exactly how. So here, if you scroll down, you may see a bunch of, page views, or these are where a lot of your triggers are already listed. But here there's an option which says initialization all pages, okay? I'm going to select this as the trigger. This means that no matter what page you're on your website, Facebook is going to fire, okay? So here, I'm going to press all pages. Then we're going to press save, guys. It's going to be very, very simple. Save that. Okay, guys, what we need to do is we need to preview what we've just implemented. Okay, so before submitting it, always submit, of course, don't forget, but we need to preview and make sure that it is actually firing, right? So up here on Google Tag Manager, we press preview. Okay, and then the action that we've just taken, we're going to test that and see how it works. Okay, so I'm just going to load up a home page, and then if we can see that it's firing, then that's all good. Then we can publish those changes and we can get on to the next section. Okay, so I'm just going to press connect here. It allows us to see how things are working. Okay, we're going to go back to the main page. And what you might need to do, if you do have a number of different tags, we can select those here. Okay, the main thing that I want to look for is the tags that are fired. Okay, and then within this section here, we can see here that the Facebook base tag is firing. We can see that exactly here, tags fired. Okay, you can name it Facebook pixel, Facebook base tag, Facebook whatever. Just as long as you know exactly what you're supposed to look for. Okay, within this section here, we can see that it's firing. Now, guys, there we can see it's firing. Okay, we're going to stop the debug mode. We're going to go back to Google Tag Manager, and then we're going to press submit changes. Okay, add a description name so you can always revert back to previous versions if you want to, or something doesn't work. Okay, and then you hit publish. And that is how you install the base pixel code on Google Tag Manager to your website. Okay, really simple, guys. Now, the next section to this, because that is stage one. Now you have the baseline code. Now, anything that's happening on your website is being tracked, but now we need to tell Meta and Google Tag Manager the specific action that we want to measure. And within the specific action that's very relevant and important to our business is submit lead form, right? We want people to submit their lead details. We want to create ad campaigns that drive those lead submissions. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to have a website with a sign up form, and then that sign up form needs to have a thank you page. Okay, so after somebody's signed up to the form, they get brought to a thank you page that says, hey, thanks so much for submitting your details. We'll be in contact with you. Okay, so for this, what we're going to do is we're going to work straight on Google Tag Manager. We're not going to open up the Meta Ad Manager yet. We're going to do that momentarily and check that everything is firing in, but we can create all these conversion events within Google Tag Manager itself, which I think is super, super cool and super amazing. But guys, before we get anywhere else, and you're new here, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Make sure that you hit that notification bell so you never miss any more important updates. We are here many times a week to help business owners, online advertisers, and digital marketeers get the best from their online advertising, paid media, and digital marketing strategies. But without further ado, let's get on with the video. Once again, no troublesome for the developers. Ad managers, we can implement this stuff ourselves, and this is why it's empowering, guys. For this, what we're going to do is we're going to press here again. We have to create a tag, and then we have to create the trigger. What is the tag? The action. And what is the trigger? When it fires. Okay, the tag is a Facebook conversion, right? Now, again, within my previous suggestion, make sure that you have labeled these correctly. It could be that you have different thank you pages, you have different inquiry forms for different actions, for different pages, for different types of service. Okay, so here you maybe want to create a tag for each of those thank you pages. Say, for example, on your website, you have multiple inquiry forms for multiple different services. You can create a conversion for every single one of those different inquiry forms, which I think is kind of cool. So within this, what we need to do is use this to label and organize how these are being listed, because this will also feed back into the Meta Ad Manager in the Events Manager section, which I showed you before. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it website form thank you page. There's only one form on this website, so it is just one, but we can label it something different. We can, identify it differently, each form differently within this naming system. Then, guys, much like with the Meta Pixel code, we're going to use a custom HTML tag. Okay, so under tag configuration, we're going to click here again. We're going to wait for it to load, and then we're going to scroll down to custom HTML. Okay, and now, guys, I'm going to leave exactly what you need to copy and paste here in down below, so you can just copy and paste it in. But this is what the code looks like. Okay, this is specific custom Facebook tracking code, and this section here is where we label also the name of that conversion. Okay, so I've used here the name of the conversion. If it was website form 2 or 3, maybe we could add that in here, and then we change that 2 or 3. Again, this information comes and gets fed into the events manager in your ad manager. So make sure that you label them correctly is my biggest takeaway, really. And then the trigger, scroll down to the triggering section. Here, we press create a new trigger up here on the very in the top right hand side, we're going to press new. Okay, and then again, we're going to label this. Okay, so what is the thank you page name? We only have one at this point, so we're just going to call it the same thing. But again, if you have specific forms here, don't forget to label them correctly so everything is seamless and organized. Then you're going to press here under trigger configuration. We're going to press page view in this point here, this section here, and then we're going to press some page views, and then under the drop down selection, we're going to press page URL. Okay, here the page URL contains, and then we're going to add thank you page. So we have our form, and then we have the thank you page. What we're going to do is just take the end section of the URL, so your main URL, domain, and then / whatever the thank you page URL is. And we're going to add that into the Google Tag Manager. Okay, so this is the new trigger, and we're going to press save here, which means now when the page view contains / thank you, that's when this trigger gets fired. Okay, that's the mode behind it. So we can press save, then we're going to press save again, and once more, okay, we need to preview and test to make sure this is firing correctly. So what we're going to do is we're going to just press preview up here, okay, in this preview box. Again, it's going to obviously, again, load up the debug mode. And what we can do here is just type in straight away the URL of the thank you page. So the full URL we can add in to debug mode to make sure that conversion event that we set up has fired. Okay, so again, it's going to load up here. It's going to say, hey, great, awesome, connected. Going to press finish. And then here it's under connected. Going to press continue. Again, select the appropriate tag at the top here and ensure that which you have just set up is firing. Okay, we can see here tags fired, tags not fired. Okay, to make sure that you're checking and having a look there. Sometimes if it's not working, is go back to the Meta Ad Manager. Okay, because sometimes I have noticed that we need to accept this custom event. Okay, and we do that in the Events Manager at the Meta Ad Manager. Okay, so I'm just going to show you where and how. We're going to go back to the Events Manager overview again. If you want to find that, it's just on the left hand side here under Events Manager. Okay, and here, so quite often or sometimes, there is a pop-up message which says, we have a new conversion that we're tracking here. Would you like to enable it? And you have to say yes. Okay, you have to enable that. Okay, within the Meta Ad Manager. What I would say, if it doesn't appear straight away, wait 10 to 15 minutes. If we've added it on the Meta Ad Manager side, it's quite quick to be able to see it. If it's coming through Google Tag Manager, it can sometimes take a little while for those conversion events start appearing. As we can see here, we have the different thank you pages firing because we have different forms on the website and we have those different events optimizing around those different forms. Now, what we can do is actually use these within our meta ad campaigns. That means when you create a new campaign, you can optimize your campaign around somebody reaching the thank you page. And that's ultimately what you want, right? Within this conversion process, is that's the end goal. Thank you page, book an appointment, thank you page. If you have a CRM, I've mentioned quite a few times that you can, integrate your CRM or some kind of content management system within this as well. But this is a very, very simple way. If you have an inquiry form and then somebody reaches the thank you page, that's where the tag and trigger gets fired. And that's where the optimization will start happening. Facebook or Meta can then find other people who are going to resonate with that same optimization goal. And that Meta ad campaign has the data it needs to go and find other results very similar to that. And like I keep saying over and over again, it's a lot more about the inputs and outputs needed to train that ad AI than it is with us tinkering with the controls ourselves. So if we have conversion, if we have pixels set up correctly and the conversion tracking set up correctly, this gives our ad AI very good juice to find us great results. Okay, that's just another tip, guys. Just wait. If it doesn't appear here, wait 10 to 15 minutes. Hopefully it will appear. If it doesn't, we need to go back into Google Tag Manager and debug it mode it again. Okay, if it's not appearing in debug mode, then there's a connection. Something has gone awry to enable that. So we need to debug that. But typically that doesn't happen very often. So one other thing that I would say and would suggest is if you have at the top here, it's a Chrome extension or it's an extension within your browser, a Meta Pixel Helper. Okay, make sure that install this to your browser, because when you go on your website and you have this loaded up, you'll be able to see, okay, the fact that the pixel code is installed, the baseline pixel code is installed, and any conversions that are happening as a result of landing on that website. So if I go to the thank you page where we've just created that conversion event, here we can see the number 3 next under the pixel helper. And here we can see we've got a couple of different conversion events that we're tracking here, free assessment purchase and a main thank you page. And we can see they're firing. Okay, we can see here that there's green ticks next to it. So they're firing, they're coming into Meta correctly. And what we can then do is create a conversion campaign optimized around, free assessment purchase. So they can go find other people who are going to resonate with that action and drive value for your business. Okay, guys, so that's my tips and tricks. Hopefully that was useful to you guys. Let me know if you've got any questions at all. If any of that doesn't make sense, let me know. I'll happily make any clarifying videos. I'm here to help, sir. But that is how you do a very simple setup for Meta Pixel and a Meta conversion event on Google Tag Manager. And that's it for today, guys. Hopefully that was useful. Hopefully now you have a really good understanding how to join Meta to your Google Tag Manager, to have a pixel set up, and then to run Meta ads to your conversion events, which are driving value for your business, okay? Hit me a comment down below if you've got any questions whatsoever. I'm really, really grateful for all the support, guys. I really appreciate every single one of you. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. I'm your boy, Jerry the Ad Wizard. You can catch me at Jerry Griffiths on LinkedIn, at Jerry Ad Wizard on Instagram, and at Jerry Dreadlocks everywhere else. If you want to know how to do this exact same process, utilizing Google Ads with Google Tag Manager, click this video over here. I'll go through a step-by-step process exactly like in this video, but for your Google Ads as well. Thank you so much for the support. I'm your boy, Jerry the Ad Wizard, and wherever you are in the world, I bid you peace, love, and a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, I will catch you in the next one.